Good evening. I'm Alexander Ned, live here for MBN, the Midnight Broadcasting Network, here for PRCS. It is the third race of the season, so glad you could join us here on this Tuesday night for yet another exciting round, this time out in California. Yes, NASCAR travels west. We're traveling to the Auto Club Speedway here for what's going to be an exciting night, and joining me to call the action will be my right-hand dog. It'll be Will up there from the back, and also a new guy in the booth. We have Ty. Ty, welcome to Midnight Broadcasting Network. So glad you could join us for tonight's race.
I appreciate you guys having me. It's definitely going to be a fun one.
Last week, I was unable to call the action, but some things were able to remain the same. That is BC Racer Kit establishing his dominance early in the season with a win at Atlanta. That, with a surprise win of Sloppy Joe at Daytona, makes us have a 2-win season so far. But Auto Club is going to be different because not only do we have 20 drivers on the track here, but we also are on the new NASCAR Heat 4 with tire wear. And we know that was a huge factor that played a role into the race win at Auto Club last week there, or at Atlanta last week, right, Will?
Yeah, it sure did, man. BC was able to stretch it the longest. He had a couple of followers with him. He had, I believe, Jay Hyper and Jay Mons, which are two of the new rookies in Cup. They actually followed suit, took a chance. But, yeah, he was actually able to pull it out. I think he got 4 more laps fresher on the end, but he sure put on a show. The fastest cars of the night was actually the 95 of Barry and actually the 24 of Jobs. They was really putting on a show, but, yeah, they just couldn't pull it off at the end. They couldn't make up enough track time for what BC was feeding them.
I want to quickly take you through today's race. Again, this is Auto Club Speedway, NASCAR traveling west for the California Dreaming 400 at PRCS. Our quick race settings, it's going to be a 50% race. All these guys, again, are established on custom race setups. They've all methodically worked on their own individual craft to put the best setup underneath their race car. Who will be in Gatorade Victory Lane? We're going to find out in just over 100 laps. Again, this league does not have damage, but it will be 50% length. The tire wear and fuel consumption will be at ×2 the normal rate.
×3.
Oh, excuse me. It's ×3 the normal rate.
Yes, sir.
So we do expect these guys to make a pit stop both in Stage 1 and Stage 2. And let me change that. Go ahead. Change that on my screen so you guys, the viewers, can see that at home. That's going to shorten these guys to, I believe, about coming in just under 20 laps. I think they'll be able to make it about 17, perhaps 18 if you stretch it enough on one tank of fuel. But will the tires hold up? Only time will tell. Computer-controlled cautions and stage racing will be on. They have just completed qualifying. We will get you a rundown here in just a couple of moments. But again, an exciting race we expect here for the Midnight Broadcasting Network. Will and Ty, what are we expecting looking into this race and for the beginning stages of this race? What do these guys in the race car need to do to conserve tires?
I mean, number one thing, you have a good start. Either if you want to drop to the back, just pace yourself for the first stint. Let everybody burn up what they have, save your equipment, and get there at the end of the stage. Or we're going to have guys who are going to try to get up there at the front of the stage. Maybe didn't qualify where they wanted to. Get up there as high as they can. Maybe on pit stops, try to pull some strategy and stay there, but I think it's definitely going to be interesting for the first 2 stages to see what these guys do.
Yeah, Alex, a couple of these guys actually dropped into the 38.6, 38.7 range. You're going to see those guys fall off first. You want to look at a lap around 39 flat to a 39.1. Those are the guys that's going to be rising to the top here at the end of the stage. I actually seen a car go 20 laps, but we'll keep that under our hat to who it was. But there was a couple of them going 20 laps, so maybe BC and the Ford gang try to stretch something out like they did last week at Atlanta. We might see a strategy fest here.
Tire wear is not going to be as dramatic as we saw at Atlanta, but California still is quite a bit of a bumpy ride around this racetrack. We're about to take our Auto Club Speedway, a virtual ride here with Kyle Larson, the winner of the last Monster Energy Cup Series race, breaking a 75-race winless streak at Dover just a couple of days ago. Congratulations to him. It's the first time we've seen that guy into the round of 8. With real-world NASCAR on our minds here, what are your guys' thoughts heading into Talladega?
Well, you know I'm a big Harvick fan, so I'm trying to get used to pulling for a Ford, but I think Harvick's going to keep it up front. He's methodical. really smart. But I look for one of the young guns to try to pull one of these off. Maybe Benedetto or whatever, however you pronounce the guy's name. But maybe he'll put that Toyota in victory lane.
I mean, you know, when we go to Talladega, whether it's virtual or in real life NASCAR, we don't know what to expect. That place has some of the craziest racing, 4, maybe 5 wide even at the time, so anything can happen. So it's definitely going to be very, very cool to see who gets up there and puts their name in the history books as winner in Talladega.
Talladega looms in the distance, but right now what looms in the distance for these drivers in our eSport Community League is Auto Club. We're going to take you through a virtual lap here. Give me some time to adjust, but I am taking out the Kyle Larson car, and we are out around this racetrack. Now, new for NASCAR Heat 4, something that we asked as fans that we wanted to see was not only tire wear, but the bumps allocated on this racetrack. Last year, it was a smooth as hell. This year, not so much. Talk about the bumps on this racetrack and how that could play a factor in today's race.
You're going to see a lot of cars, Alex, coming off of turn 2. As soon as they hit the first little ripple strip, you're going to see a lot of them just come off the corner and just dart left after their tires get a little bit of wear. But most of all, they've been practicing. You know how these guys do it. They're methodical with everything they do. They've been practicing. They got these things dialed in. They got their bumps and their rebounds where they need them so they don't lose control. But yeah, it's not really a factor. It just makes it fun for the driver.
And one of the things that I feel like may grab these guys, maybe not, down the back straightaway. If you like to get right up on that wall, one of those bumps, you never know, they could take you to the right a little bit, maybe put you in that wall if that's not where you want to be. But definitely those bumps down the back straightaway in the Xfinity race last night definitely felt like it was having an effect. So for sure, I mean, those
Ty got through in the fence, Alex.
Yeah.
He got through up in the fence last night.
Into the fence. Yeah, it was I think I barreled for about 10 seconds. But those bumps, especially off corner, cars are going to get really loose. So hopefully these guys can hold on to it. I know they can. So definitely going to be interesting coming off that corner. It's going to be, even on the final lap of the stage where the tires are going to be a little worn, it's going to be pretty exciting to see 2, maybe even 3 wide coming off those corners. Oh,
this track is plenty enough, big enough to see 4, perhaps 5 wide racing. Going back to the finish last year, we had a green-white checker that allowed everybody to get bunched up, and then a fight to the finish that saw BC Racer Kid. He is our defending race champion of this race. Will we see that here again? Let's go and take a lap around Auto Club Speedway right at the start-finish line. You see the bumps almost throw my car up in the air before you're going to dive down low, kind of ride around that apron. New for NASCAR Heat 4. Last year, you got on that apron. It's been out this year. The apron kind of fights back. You put your car back into the racetrack. That could perhaps unsettle the race car, bounce you back into traffic. You could see trouble off of turn 2 and off turn 4 because of that. Now down the backstretch, you see over 190 miles an hour before, once again, big sweeping corners allow this race car. You can really use any groove of this racetrack to your advantage. That guidance rule, or that out of bounds line there, that white line, is not really out of bounds. You can use every inch of this racetrack, and we expect these guys to be using them 4, 5, perhaps even 6 wide to try and get everything out of their race car here at Auto Club. Then again, 190 miles an hour before they sell it off into turn number 1. That is a lap here around Auto Club. Can you hold your breath for 38 seconds? That's what you'll need to do here to be successful. Getting set here just momentarily for the green flag. Damage will not be on. I am just being told that now from our race director, Slade, here, who has to have us hopefully soon in the booth. And we'll give you guys a qualifying result in order to start this race here just momentarily. But for now, we're going to try and conserve a little bit of our voices here for this finish. So we'll go to a quick commercial break, which will just consist of me, going around laps. We'll be back. Because I really have nothing else to say right now. I'm sorry. Oh, man.
Actually, I got a little bit of news.
All right, let's go to... It's a new segment we're providing here at MBN. It's news with Sean. Because I have nothing to kill the time. Sean, what do you got there?
It's getting cold outside. You need to start wearing long pants and sweatshirts anymore. But actually, the Fords have qualified. I think, if I'm correct, I'm trying to pull my stuff back up here, but they have qualified first, second, third, fifth, and sixth. Yeah, that's how we had it happen last night. We had a bunch of strong Fords up front. started the race, and as soon as the drop of the green flag, like I said, we had them qualifying laps took out underway, and then they started falling like a rock. We had some lag issues last night, which kind of put a couple of the hot rods deep in the back. But yeah, hopefully tonight there's no lag. We can see these boards if they can consistently hold these laps they're putting up most of the time. I think they're trying to fight back from the Toyotas being so dominant this year, but everybody's forgetting about those Chevrolets last week. The Chevrolets would have been good under stressful conditions, but we had a couple cars getting some incidents on pit road, or going on to pit road. No, not really anything happened much on the racetrack. But well, actually, 19 of Bags last week, he had one of the fastest cars that was out there, but he kept getting caught up in about everybody's mess. But who do you pick for tonight, Alex?
Well, that's always a tough order because everything is so different this year. Kind of talked about like a new aero package. This new game really throws a wrench into how we're going to see these guys attack the racetrack. You have the people that have been fast all, season long, got Slade, BC Racer Kid, Fluffy. I believe those guys will be fighting it out for league, and I do believe BC Racer Kid, he was our first repeat winner last year. I do believe he's just as dangerous as he was last year tonight. So I do believe that 4 car will be a factor, another Ford, as you mentioned there. But Ty, what are your thoughts heading into tonight's race?
I mean, I'm looking at a guy who's been really consistent these first 2 races. 2 top 5s, 2 stage wins. I'm going with Slade for tonight.
There you have it, the 21 car looking for its 100th win in the Monster Energy Cup Series. He drives the 21 car for esports racing as well. News earlier this year that Matt DiBenedetto will be taking over that ride for the 2020 season after Paul Menard will retire from Monster Energy Cup Series competition in November at the end of the Homestead Finale Championship race. I look forward to seeing what Matt DiBenedetto can do in that 21 machine. Such a stable race community that team is. It's NASCAR's oldest team, so it would be great to see some great success for Matt and a great team as well.
Yeah,
let's see if we can see what the holdup is. Because this pretty much sums up our pre-race show, and I'm sure you guys are tired of seeing my 42 going around.
They keep on. We're just gonna all just get into a lobby, and we're just gonna see who does what. Just turn into a live stream. Just play it by ear.
Actually, you see some of the tire fall off from my run. I had an 8-lap run right there, or 7-lap run, and about my fastest lap was about the second lap right there, just over 40 seconds. Now, again, I'm not on a custom setup, so my time is going to be a little bit slower than what these guys will be putting on in the race here tonight. But tire wear, we saw about in the mid-60s, and we know that a can of gas, or excuse me, a fuel run, will last these guys about 14 laps. First stage is going to be 29 laps, so that tells me that these guys will have to put not only once but twice in both stages here before maybe even 3 or more pit stops for that final stage.
Yeah, we've got the qualifying order in as well. We got Fluffy on the pole tonight in the number 17. Fast lane, I think, is fast line or something.
Fast and on Ford Mustang.
Okay, fast on Ford Mustang. He's actually one of our esports drivers. Then on the outside pole, we've got, who's that? That's Big D Destroyer. We got Slade qualifying 4th. We've got the 1 car of DW up front. And there's your pick, the BC Racer Kid, starting 5th, and Jay Hyper starting on the outside there. So I guess that's why Hyper put it in the chats, because he was, qualified top 3 lanes there. So then in 95, a Bear, and you got Voltage Voltage in 19 starting behind Bear. I think that's New World number 2 in the number 20 car, or that's Pat's Ace.
A New World, I was just told, will be in the 20 car.
The New World. Number 2, that's number 2. The other New World is in the number 18. But the 31 car is that Workman? No. That's
Sloppy Joe.
Sloppy Joe in the 41. I mean in 31. And the 48 is Saab Max Boost. And then Job's in the 24 car, Hendrick car. He was really fast last week. And then you got New World Order, the original. And then in the 11 car, you got Celtics fan. The 43 car, you got Mike RPM. The 3 car, you got Workman. The 88 car, you got JRM Keffer. The number 9 car is J Mons. The number 6 car of Marcus Edub. And the 13 car of Galen. That's your starting lineup here. MBN for this evening's race, Auto Club.
Somebody that surprises me being that far in the back is Jeremy Keffer, so it's going to be interesting to see how he gets through the field tonight. I feel like he definitely can. He definitely has the ability to. One of our Pro League drivers.
And one driver that you yourself can ride along with on YouTube, always sharing the stream and giving us a little bit of an insight as to what lap count these guys are on and what perhaps adjustments or strategy these guys are pulling without giving away too much of his own information. But it's nice to be able to tag along that 88 Nationwide Chevrolet, and JRM Keffer has always agreed to do that for us here in the booth.
I'm going to actually be tagging along with him tonight. I'll keep you updated on the lap count situation, fuel strategy. Last night, Keffer was he about won a couple Actually, he did win a stage, but he come up a little short on the race end.
Very exciting finish, though.
Or did who won last night?
If I'm correct, it was the 20 of Voltage who won the Xfinity race last night.
Yeah, as soon as the race was over, I had to get to hanging up stuff in my new house. So I was a little angry about that race anyway, the way it turned out.
Yeah, I had a league race myself, a Daytona 500 that did not turn out as well. But looks like we are finally getting the chance. A little bit of a delay, perhaps some rain up there. All right, we are moments from going green. These guys are doing their pace lap. For that pace car will peel off, and we will get the third race of the season for PRCS underway.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I'm waiting for this thing to
Alrighty.
start up. That's one thing I have noticed that they are doing on the PlayStation. Is you'll sit there and wait for the invite, and it'll just start your application all over again.
Field getting collected on the backstretch here, about 70 mile per hour pace speed. These guys will go. You see Fluffy in the inside row. First pole of the season for that fashionable Ford Mustang. On the outside, another Ford Mustang Blue Oval taking up the top spots, and that will be the 12 of Big D Destroyer. Heading into turn 3 and 4, where the next time by will be well over 180 miles per hour. These cars. Drivers all waiting for this moment right here. Taking a look up high from the Goodyear blimp, a little bit of a playful bump. You see the 21 give the 17 right before they get past the start entrance of pit road. They are through the Geico restart zone. The green flag is out. We're racing. Third race underway here at Auto Club.
Back in the back. I think the 48 is currently back there from the pack. A little bit of contact. The field is spread out. The 10, the 43. Looking back at it, they're a little bit spread out from the front pack. We'll keep our eyes on that. The 48, though,
Yeah, he did, right as we took the green flag. Big crash to the outside wall. Thankfully, damage was not on, but he has lost touch with his lead draft here. That is now just fully getting up to speed. You see the 17 car, Fluffy, take the outside there. Now dive down low, too, and almost 3 wide racing behind him. At the stripe, it looks like that 21 car trying to challenge underneath, but the 17 car, Fluffy, will lead that first lap. Ty, your pick is right behind him, and BC Racer car, my pick, just up right behind him as well.
As we take a look, the 10 car is on the pit road. Not sure exactly what happened there. Maybe a blackout situation.
Yeah,
and if
the 10
that
car
is
is actually AJ Storm, his first race back with MBN. Piloting that 10 car, don't know what happened as of yet.
If he's on pit road, sitting on pit road.
Pack. The 12 of Big Destroyer, the 1 of these. No, making sure that I'm right here. The 1 of DWH. They're now 3 wide with the 18 car. It all gets filed out, but they're 3 wide for the 3.
A little bit of contact there. Out of 2, saw the 12 and the 18 make contact. But the first 5 are single file there, Ty, and they are leaving this front pack. First 4, excuse me.
Yeah, they're sure stretching the field out. They probably got another 4 or 5 car links on these guys from the second pack here. As you see, the 95 of Baird tried to get Slade bump draft going into that turn, got him inside Fluffy.
CJ Hyper leading this front, or excuse me, this second pack as everybody tries to get single file. Now, we don't typically talk about the draft here at Auto Club, but that is something that these guys can use to their advantage, and that's something that you don't want to lose a hold of here early in this race. These guys that are 2 and 3 wide racing, you see what it's done to the second pack. Now we see a sizable gap between 4th and 5th place.
We got Fluffy, Slade, and the Bear 3 wide coming out of turn 4. It looks like the Bear's going to get clear of the 17. The 17 drops behind the 95, and that is Bear to the lead.
Pushed by the 17 car. You see BC Racer Kid in that 21. These guys finished 1st and 2nd last year. What will happen is Bear in that 95 car now looks to the high side. Here comes the 17 of Fluffy looking underneath with help from the 4 car BC Racer Kid. Ooh, a little bit loose off the corner. That's something you'll see these guys do late in this run.
We have Jay Hyper. He's bringing that pack very sneakily, not trying to let anybody know, but he is bringing that pack right up to the leaders, as they are definitely catching them quite quickly.
In the grass, it looks like the 3 car, perhaps C. Workman, caught the apron there out of turn 4. You see him lose all the way. He was solidly inside the top 10. Now he's going to be fighting to stay inside the top 15. Back up front, the 17 of Fast and Ford. Fluffy trying to challenge Bear to the outside as the 21 and 4 car work that high lane. The 17 car seems to be the only car we've seen try and make that inside line work.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a momentum track. If you actually come up on that car in the turn, you can actually boost them way ahead. So you're only playing in their draft. It's really hard to pass. You got to get on the inside. This is strictly momentum tonight.
We got the 19 and the 18 trying to work, and here comes their teammate in the 20 trying to get around the 12 car. Not enough momentum for the 19.
BC Racer brushed the wall.
He did. He brushed the wall, and look what that did. Just a little bit of side-by-side action up front allowed everybody in this second pack to join now the lead pack, and it's all one big happy pack again. Just over 200 miles an hour, by the way.
And as we're seeing again tonight, that 95 car, the Bear, he's got a pair of legs on that car. He dominated most of the long run situations there at Atlanta last week. Looks like he brought the power with him here to Auto Club tonight.
Pack is kind of split back up again. Right now, Jobs and BC Racer are side by side in the last bit of the pack with the 12 car of Big Destroyer. He's actually now trying to bring the second pack back up to the leaders again, but nonetheless, I mean, these guys going side by side is not helping their case with trying to pull away. Oh, Job is a little loose off the corner.
Now that 2 car, Jay Hyper there, wasn't so long ago that he was outside of that lead path. He's been able to draft his way back up. He's working the outside line, trying to get to the outside of Bear, who's fallen back to 3rd place, and Fluffy has retaken the lead. Look at this racing, 2, almost 3 wide out of 4. Oh, got a car all the way through, almost into the apron.
He's able to keep it.
Yes, he does, but he will. That was the 11, a Celtics fan. And the rest of the field continuing to follow suit. Back up front. Look at this. 3 wide action for the lead down the back stretch.
Yeah, those forwards lined up on that outside there. They're going to run the Daytona line, see if they can't get that outside working, see if they can make some passes. They're going to call me wrong on that, aren't they?
Now, you guys were in the Xfinity race here just one night ago. What were some of the big challenges here in the middle of a run, and what are these guys facing right now as we continue to run some green flag laps here?
I mean, when you get wear on your tires, you want to do anything that you don't want to do anything that can unsettle that car, especially on corner exit, because if it does, you have to save that thing and try not to lose as many spots. So you have to think risk over reward. As we have 3 wide action between the 3, the 24, and the 4 of BC Razor. It's going to clear out before they get to turn 3, but these guys are obviously being really cautious, especially the top 3, not wanting to make any moves that are going to unsettle their race cars. But now we are split into one big pack and a couple just lone riders back there in the back of the field.
Ooh, 20 cars just brushed the wall. BC Racer Kid in the middle of the pack. Big D Destroyer gets into the back of him. They have to check up, and you see BC Racer Kid falling all the way outside the top 5, barely hanging on to the top 10 to the outside. Big D Destroyer in that 12 and the 18 try to get away. 4 cars just scraped the wall, and new for NASCAR Heat 4, you scrape the wall, you lose so much momentum here. It's like you're almost standing still at 200 miles an hour. You're suddenly going 20 miles per hour slower than the rest of the field.
20 New World Order trying to push the 4 of BC Racer back into that pack. Now BC pushing the 3 car of C Workman.
And green flag pit stops will need to be made again in stage 1 and stage 2, perhaps even 2 of them. Ooh, contact between teammates, the 12 and the 2 right there. We were riding along with Jay Hyper. You saw the 12 Big D Destroyer just move up. Didn't break the momentum, though, as Fluffy continues to lead, but 21 a Slade, he's looking to challenge. Now, with pack racing that we're seeing here at Auto Club, getting to pit road can be a challenge. Why is that, Ty?
Well, I mean, they're trying to bring these cars down, as we talked about. When they get into 3 and 4, they're going to be going just over 190, going to be at 190 or just a little bit below. And then they have to bring these cars down to 55 miles an hour, and that's not going to be easy on old tires or fresh tires. It's still going to be hard because they have to keep these things as stable as they can. They don't want to lose too much time entering, but they don't want to speed going in. So they want to try to get these things slowed down, safe, be comfortable going in, but it's definitely risk over reward there as well. So it's definitely difficult trying to get these things slowed down, as I learned last night a couple times. We see contact between BC and the 43. Mike RPM getting a little loose there.
Now, Will, do you perhaps take a chance and short pit, perhaps not be with this big pack when everybody decides to pit?
20 car coming in. He's definitely going to try the short pit here, and there's benefits to it for sure. Benefits are you try to get a little bit out, you try to get a little bit further out in front, but then the other problem is we talked about the draft. You want to come out with other cars around you, that way you have momentum getting to the cars in front of you. So I think if you try to short pit, you have to try to short pit with somebody else. So I think the 20 right now is just a sit and duck.
He did, but the benefit of going by yourself is that you don't have somebody perhaps pushing you down pit road, giving you a pit road speeding penalty, perhaps. But we do know pit road is about to be a busy place. Taking a look to the inside, a couple of cars are off. The leaders, the 95 of Bear, 24 Jobs, and a whole pack of them heading down pit road right now. The 20 and the 6 car were the first cars on pit road. You see the rest of the field follow suit.
Half the field. Yeah. So I was about to say, yeah, when you asked me about the tire situation, short pitting, really, you don't want to get caught with 4 or 5 lap older tires than the guys ahead of you. You're going to see these guys pit within probably a 2 or 3 lap window. We had some guys that stretched it last night, so maybe a couple of these guys watched the race last night and realized the strategy that was at hand, and you're definitely going to see a lot of the Chevrolet guys try to stretch it out this time, as Ford was able to last week. See our leader, Fluffy, come down pit road with the early lead in long class.
Slade and the rest of the people that did not pit were able to get safely on pit road. You see the 95 car Bear actually win that race off of pit road right there. but it looks like everyone is able to. And look at the time made up by the 20 car. He's steaming to the outside. He's looking to take the lead just by pitting one lap earlier. It's driven him all the way to the front of this pack.
So I was definitely wrong. He just made me look like an idiot up here in the booth. But nonetheless, I mean, he's about, I'd say maybe 5/10 of a second out in front of the Bear, maybe less. But he's out in front, probably exactly what he wanted, what he knew was going to happen. So he's definitely solid right now.
See the 2 on pit road right here, the 18 and the 21. Looks like they all make it through, but they're not going to be fully up to speed. The time lost by getting on the pit road there 2 laps. Look at these guys. They were solidly inside the top 5. They're barely going to hang on to the top 10.
Right now we got the 3 workmen. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say they're going to get the benefit of the longer green tires up under them, though. You're going to see them come back at the end of the room.
There will be a difference between one lap just getting on to pit road, or excuse me, getting onto the track with 1 lap fresher tires can make a world of difference there later on. So I definitely agree with you there, Will. We'll see how long that 20 car could hold on to that lead.
And it's looking like it's not going to be much longer for the 20.
Yeah, we just had the 88 finally hit pit road now, so you see there's actually a 3 to 4 lap difference there.
Up front, looks like the 24 that we're running along is in the 5th position, but it's the 95 of Bear who was able to take the lead. Ooh, some car way out of shape out of turn number 2 right there. I believe that was the 88 of JRM Keffer. Don't know who that was. Looked like a blue car, not Mike, but somebody else. Able to gather it back up, but got way loose off the corner. Our lead pack has now dwindled just to 4 cars through that. 5 cars through that sequence of green flag pit stops. Bear up front. You see the 17 car Fluffy able to stay on to the lead draft. The 20 car able to pit early, and now he's in tow, which could help minimize the bleeding of him being on older tires than the rest of the field. And you see the 3 car C Workman and the 24 Jobs right behind him.
And right now we're seeing Fluffy. I don't know if he's trying to get around the 20, but it looks like he's trying to do everything he can to either push him or get around him. And he's definitely got that 20. He's pushed him a couple times, but just not enough room for the 20 to make a run. And maybe a smart thing to do. But we see C Workman. He's trying to get to the inside of the 17 of Fluffy. He's going to do so. Maybe to the inside of the 20. Not quite.
Riding on board that Scholastic Dow Chevrolet Cam. You see C Workman work the inside, but doesn't have the drafting help. Looks like everyone kind of goes to the high side, and that allows him to filter back up to the 4th spot. He had a look underneath Fluffy, but it just wasn't there. Here comes the challenge from the 20 car looking underneath the 95.
Yeah, you see that early pit stop really paid off for the number 24 car.
Oh, a little bit of lag. That was lag out of the 20 machine, and thankfully it did not take out any cars in that lead pack. So that car just kind of come to a stop right there. That's something you don't want to see happen there. Or was that the 95? Because the 95 looked like he just missed the corner. And the 20 will take the lead. Oh, you see the 95 and the 17 make contact out of 2.
Yeah, we seen a lot of that last night. We unfortunately had lag all the way through the second stage there. Had, like I said, a lot of the good cars fell back. So at least we didn't see no harm, no foul as yet. But as I was saying, the 24 car and the actual 3 car, they made it out. I wonder if they maybe took 2 tires on that pit stop there, Alex.
I believe everybody took 4 right there. It would be interesting to see if anybody takes 2 in the later run. But right now, C Workman, a little bit of contact between the 20 and the 24. In NASCAR Heat 3, that 24 car would have been around. Thankfully, the ping pong effect fixed for this game, and these guys can take a little bit more abuse. But that was a moment.
That's 17 of Fluffy trying to push the 24 of Jobs around the 20 of New World Order and the 95 of the Bear, but that outside lane giving them the momentum. So it's going to put the 20, the 95 trying to push the 20 to the lead around C Workman. The 20 is going to get clear, the Bear to the bottom. Here comes Fluffy into the mix.
And I am impressed by the one, or not the 1 car, but the 20 car,
Contact.
able to keep the lead with older tires than the rest of the field. You think as a driver you guys make a mental note of that and you think, oh, this 20 car took tires early. Is that something that you're going to want to use later on?
We saw a little bit of contact with the 17 of Fluffy and the 24 of Job. Job was able to hang on to it. Didn't lose any time at all, really. But right now we got the 95 of Bear trying to get around the 20. He does. Is the 3 going to clear him out of 2? It looks like the 3 is going to clear him. 24 not quite able to get there.
We are coming to the end of stage number 1. And you see Bear continuing to lead. Man, it just seems like that inside line, it's a shorter distance around this racetrack, but you're not able to use it to your advantage. Why is that?
Sometimes if the guys that are behind you, like we talked about momentum. If other guys were on the high side and they have the draft around the outside, it's still going to be a little bit quicker than the inside if there's no help. As we see a little bit of contact with the 20 and 95, 20 way up out of the groove, so he's going to be able to regather it. Fluffy now coming to the outside, but something you'll notice is when these guys get the run down the outside on the backstretch, they push and then they try to keep it to where they can either get to the bottom or they can maybe try to get around the outside. But if you go to the inside with no help, it's basically going to kill your momentum. As we see the 3 car, he's going to try it. But the outside, you want to keep that momentum. So the more of the evasive maneuver you have to make to try to get to the bottom, it's going to slow you down in the long run. Contact with the 24 and the 3. Both of them hold on to it.
Yeah, these guys are definitely side by side there. And Will, if you're still there, if you're watching Jeremy Kemper's live stream, could you tell me what lap we're on?
Yeah, we're on lap 25 and 29.
So what's interesting to me here is that that 20 car, he did pit early. Now, I was unable to know exactly when he went on the pit road, but a full fuel tank is 14 laps. So that is just shy of being able to make it with 29 laps. So that tells me that these guys perhaps are either trying to save fuel or they're going to have to pit one more time before the end of the stage, and we could see a frantic rush to get onto pit road. Perhaps one tire scratching. Whoa, look at this. The 20 car all the way to the bottom of the racetrack. The 95 Bear put a big block, and now they're 3 wide. Job threading the needle, taking the lead into 1. Do they all have the tires, and do they all have the fuel to make it to the end of stage 1?
We were focusing on that lead. Go ahead.
I was about to tell them I believe that they do have enough fuel to make it to the end. I think the 20 car actually split the stage right in half and come down at lap 14, if I'm correct.
Alrighty.
95 and the 24 battling out. This is the story last week that I guess is in a different chapter. Those guys were actually classed in the field with the speed, as you know, BC was with strategy, but it's good to see those guys running well.
Well, look at the guy that's trying to make up some time. It's last night's Xfinity Series winner. This battle up front has allowed Voltage to be within striking distance of this lead pack, and those guys running 2 wide is punching a big enough hole in the air that the 19 car is able to sniff the draft, and he's going to try and get in touch with this lead pack. Oh, spinning! The 20 car right in front of the field! More contact, he gets off the pace. He gets off the track, but he hit the apron in the 20 car. Goes around at turn 4. We stay under the green flag.
And because of that, then the second pack, we had a little bit of a shake-up. Slade got a little loose, but he was able to hold on to it. Jay Hyper took the advantage of that on the bottom. And right now we're looking at the second pack. They've made up a little bit of ground on the 3 car, especially after that incident. But these guys are racing really hard back here. 4 car contact with the 43. The 4 goes spinning onto the bottom of the apron. He saves it.
PC Racer Kid, last year's defending race winner around in the backstretch. You can tell we're getting to the end of this stage. Tires definitely playing a factor toward the end of this one. Up front, the 17 car giving chase to the 24 Jobs. And is that the end of the stage?
43. That was the end of the stage, but the 43 looked to try to keep the position on Slade, put Slade in the grass. They hold on to it, obviously, at the end of the stage, but not sure exactly what happened there, but I don't think Slade's going to be too happy with the 43 there.
Oh, talk about an emotional and dramatic end to stage 1. We were able to capture it with you, but the 24 car Job's able to sneak through and grab the stage win. That'll be 10 stage points and 1 playoff point awarded to him for later on in this season. Now everybody will go to the attention of their crew themselves, be able to make those adjustments needed to try and keep up with the racetrack and keep up with their competitors.
Yeah,
Big loser
I'm
on
not
that
trying
exchange. So the 20 car had a great run, split that stage in half, and a mistake on that apron. You're not invincible there now with the apron being able to fight back. You can get on the apron so much, but there is a tolerance, and he went over it.
Yeah, I was just going to tell you the correct saying on name is Jobs.
Jobs, excuse me, thank you.
Since he's running so good, we have to do him the honor. He's actually the Hendrick Esports driver up to number 24. Esports ride for Hendrick Motorsports, or Hendrick Esports. We'll take a clean restart here. Looks like 24 up, Jobs. 95 of Bear get on that outside lane. Fluffy said they get momentum. They got Hyper in tow.
Person I was watching and keeping my eye on there before his teammate went spinning was the 19 of Voltage. He was able to make up some time by himself. He had actually left that second pack and was running all by himself there, using that hole in the air that we described by those guys running 2 and 3 wide in front of him to his advantage, but he just ran out of time. But right now, side-by-side racing continues into turn 1.
And they are 2x2, 4 rows deep. Make that right now just about 6 rows deep, as these guys are trying to see which lane can give the most momentum. Right now, it's Job leading the high side and the Bear leading the bottom.
Wow, you saw the 21 car. We were riding on board with him. That Wood Brothers machine got very loose out of turn 2. Look at this package, guys. It's that fragile written all over it. The 21 car drives to the inside, 3 wide as they go through turn 3 and 4.
As you see with 19, I thought he was gone. I seen him get those 2 tires down on that apron. He actually used that apron to actually turn his car a little bit. Got a little loose, but was able to save it, maintain the lead pack here.
Man, this onboard camera that we're with here on the 21, you could really feel the sense of speed, and you could see how much these guys are traveling over these bumps. These guys are not just set in the racetrack here. Those are some big bumps that these guys, it cannot be comfortable going over those bumps on a controller or a wheel.
And right now we've got 3 wide between the 21 of Slade, the 19 of Voltage, and the 43 of Mike RPM. A little bit of checkup from the outside there. The 18 contact with his teammate of Voltage.
And they are 2-3 wide right here. Big crash! Man, Pat Fluffy gets turned in front of the field, and it's going to take out half of them. The 18, the 21 into the wall. Yellow flag is out. And it was our pole sitter that went around. I just didn't like what I was seeing there, just as we were describing. You cannot continue to race that way, and it happened in a big way with our pole sitter there. Dramatically hard hit to the outside wall.
That was truly impressive. It almost looked like a Talladega or Daytona race. Yeah, I knew it wasn't going to last too long, but it was an impressive scene to see.
Everybody wanting to take a lane, and there just wasn't enough room for... we saw the checkup out of turn 4. I think that's what might have started that incident with everybody trying to settle back out, but terrible wreck for Fluffy there, as he was really dominant, so hopefully he can get back through the field and maybe get that 17 back up into contention for this race.
Man, I mean, it was frantic. We, as fans, we love to see that type of racing. Even as competitors, we like to be in that type of racing, but sometimes push comes to shove, and that was just a little bit too much over the line. Let's see if these guys can straighten it up as we get back under green. That was our first computer-controlled caution of the race. We're back to racing.
Sloppy Joe the Bear and Jay Hyper. The Bear going to get the run off the middle. Is Sloppy Joe going to be able to give him a little bit of a run for his money on to the back straightaway? We're going to see him start to maybe pull even with the Bear. The Bear now starts to pull away with it. He's got help from the 3 car of C. Workman. Not to mention Jay Hyper's also.
A couple of RCR cars working together. As C. Workman gets in front of his teammate there, Sloppy Joe, the Daytona 500 champion for PRCS. And as you see, the front 4, now 5, trying to single file themselves out. Here comes that 43 car pushing Jay Hyper on that bottom lane. They are 3 wide as we roll along with Voltage. 9 car to the outside, another car to his inside. What does he do? Oh, he'll take it through the middle. And the 6 car, help from the outside lane with the 9 and the 4 BC Racer Kid trying to work his way after spinning early in this race. Wow, contact between the 6 and the 11 car. Celtics fan sends him out of shape down the back stretch.
Yeah, you're going to see a lot of that coming off turn 2. It's something about those first little ripple strips right there that send your car a little loose if you turned into it, got a little bit too much wheel coming off. You see with older tires as well.
The 1 car, DW, was in the wall, lost all that momentum. He's going to fall, I think, out of the big pack. And right now, guys that were really quick in that... Guys that were really quick in that first stage and went to the back, Jobs and Fluffy working their way through the field. A little bit of contact. The 18, 12, and the 6 are going to start falling back here. Everybody holds
Jay
on to
Hyper
it.
hits the wall out of 2 right there. Excuse me, I didn't mean to talk over you there, Ty, but he's going to lose some momentum and be engulfed by that now second pack as we have a challenge for the lead. Here comes C. Workman looking underneath Bear in turn 3. Just can't get that inside line to work. Bear using that outside line to his advantage. He'll clear the 3 car out of turn 4. Now he'll take it to the bottom of the racetrack, make the 3 car chase him. When you're leading this racetrack, when you're snaking through the front stretch or even the back stretch, what are you trying to do to that guy up behind you?
Well, actually, you want to kind of keep him tied up to you. 2 cars.
Oh, spinning back stretch. Looks like the 19 of Voltage, almost around, excuse me, sorry, it was Voltage who was inside the top 10, now going to go all the way back to last place. Don't know what sent him there.
The 88 slides up the track. Into J Hyper and Big Destroyer, they hang on to it. We had 4 wide there for a second. We have 4 wide still, the 17, the 9, the 20, and the 2. Fluffy on the bottom.
Wow, look at this dramatic pack racing here. Racing closer together than most guys dare to park.
They better tighten up that line a little bit and work. Because you got these 3 cars of the Bear, Workman, and Mike RPM. They're just stretching their legs right now. They put on about a 10-car lead going down the back stretch.
And we've got 4 wide again, I think. Maybe just a little bit. The 13's going to get out of it. Nonetheless, though, the 48, or the 18 to 12, and contact, it looks like just a little bit. They're able to hold on to it. They're still spread out.
Looking above from the Goodyear blimp, you can really see the different lines these guys are taking throughout the turn and the different runs these guys are getting. To the outside, looks like the 12 car. Oh, wow. You see the 18 car get loose, now get help from the 48 car. Still 3 wide racing. And as fun as this is this kind of nerve-wracking? Are you trying to get yourself single file? Why are these guys 3 wide racing right now?
You see it week in and week out, man. When you got to field this deep, everybody's ultra aggressive. It's a controlled aggressiveness at times, but you want to, this is where the big names race. So they want to get in that top 5, get a solid run. Seems like everybody wants to win this race. Every race is the big one.
And I mean, the pack that we're watching go at it are the guys that are fighting for stage points. Obviously, it's a 3-car breakaway in the front, but then there's some of these guys that are in the back of this pack that right now aren't in stage points. They want to get up there, but when you're 3 wide, you're in the middle. It's very nerve-wracking because you don't want to make a move too low or too high. You just want to try to get out of it, try to get through it. If you can't get through it sometimes, you just have to back out and let it settle back out.
And now we're actually approaching where you're going to see some guys that can actually duck off and make it from here in our stage 2. They're right here halfway, coming across the stripe. It'll be dead half of the stage here, guys.
How many laps to go that time by?
Well, with Keffer here, it's it'll be 14 to go.
All right, so he's got contact and in the wall, the 20 car. We rode along with New World Order after he made contact, perhaps with the 2. All the momentum lost, and the 20 car. Bad luck continues to send him to the back of the pack. Wish I could see exactly who that was that sent him into the outside wall there, but he had a good run, but unfortunately all for naught. Thankfully, he's still within this pack of cars. So the 18, wow, big wobble in the middle of the pack.
Able to hold on to it, almost made contact with the 19 of Voltage. They're both fine, though. As we look back into the front, I think we have a contest for the lead. C. Workman trying to get around the Bear. He's got help from Mike RPM in the 43, right there making that move, but he just had so much of a run that he pulled away, and that's not going to help him. But he's going to clear the 95. A little bit of a block. To the outside goes the Bear. Maybe help from Mike RPM.
Yeah, when you have 3 cars racing like this, you in that behind in that 3rd position going to really decide what lane or what driver you want to use to your advantage, and that's going to decide who will have the lead. As you see the 43 car, he's not really picking one guy over the other. He's still solidly looking right behind the 3 and the 95, and Bear will take the lead away from Workman again, heading into 3.
Mike RPM just scheduled to be coming down pit road here. I think Workman's going to hit pit road with him.
Yes. These guys were wide off the corner. Oh, Workman misses pit road. Right in front of his teammate, the 31. Looks like he was able to get onto pit road. The computer was able to allow that car to pit. But a big miscue on the 303 Workman.
We'll have to keep our eyes on him, see if he got a speeding penalty coming on the pit road like that. You know, once you slide the tires, your speed just picks up, and they love to give you an extra 15 seconds on that pit stop.
We'll keep an eye on him, but right now the rest of the field looks to be going on to pit road right here. We see, Bear misses pit road, back in front of the pack. Big crash, JRM Keffer, the yellow flag is out. Crash coming onto pit road.
I was about to say, Alex and Ty, they had to bring out the caution. The big one happened, and now we see another big one with the Bear missing pit road here. Shoo, you gotta hate attention like that. The leader getting onto pit road. A big miscue again, slid right in front of the field, and no one had the chance to avoid him. A hellacious hit front of the pack. You saw the 88 car just broadside the 95, and there was nowhere to go. Car spinning toward the infield. We were actually on board with BC Racer Kid, who was on the pit road there, and I do believe pit road was closed, so this is going to dramatically shuffle the running order of this. I can't even begin to tell you who was going to be up front. I believe the caution came out before those guys that were on pit road went a lap down, and that is actually good news for the 3C Workmen, who perhaps might have had a penalty. You see BC Racer Kid in the 17 car of Fluffy able to take control of this race, and this has again dramatically shuffled the running order. Bear way deep in this field now.
I didn't get to see that huge wreck that occurred on the front straightaway, but because I was looking at the cars that hit pit road, all 5 of them were Chevys, and right now, if I'm correct, they are all up inside the top 10 right now, so a good move for them. Sadly, though, if we would have stayed green, I feel like they would have pulled the undercut that 20 did, and they would have been the top 5 cars in the running order.
Yeah, you seen that number 88 car piloted by J.R. Keffer, junior motorsports esports driver. He actually did pull through up to the front of the pack. He made it all the way to 4th when that unfortunate incident happened. I think he's got the best long-run car of the night. These guys get on deeper into the race. Strategy, they keep it clean and green once these strategies actually take place. He might have something for these guys tonight.
You see the action is picking up, the intensity also picking up once again. 2-3 wide racing. These guys know that at the end of, 4 wide. Look at the 17 car. Force his way into the inside of BC Racer Kid and the 31 of Sloppy Joe underneath. How many laps to go in the stage?
We actually got 5 coming to 5 to go right here.
These guys, it's important to note that if a caution does come out within the next 2 laps, they will have about a 1-lap shootout. If it comes out after 3 laps to go, this will end the stage under yellow. Also, pit road will be closed with 2 laps to go, just as it is in the real Monster Energy Cup Series. These guys will not be able to go down pit road once the leader hits the stripe with 2 to go in stage 2.
Right now, JRM Keffer trying to get to the inside of Mike RPM and challenge for the lead. He's got a big push from Sloppy Joe. Looks like he might be able to get it done. BC Racer has fallen off the back bumper, the 43 of Mike RPM. That's going to give the advantage to the 88 and 31 on the bottom. As here comes the 20. New World Order. He's going to try to get to the inside challenge for the lead. Keffer has to block the bottom. 3 wide for second.
What lane do you decide to block? He'll stick to the bottom of the racetrack, coming to 4 to go that time by. It'll be 3 to go once they next cross the stripe. 20 car washes up the racetrack and into the wall. Fluffy spinning, and it's going to cause another crash. Here goes the 1 of DWH. Oh, what a big hit. You saw the 21 car head on into the inside barrier. Reminiscent of Matt Kensh's big crash here in 2017. He found that inside wall. We see the 43 involved, the 12 car. Damage to that machine, and this will most likely end the stage under yellow, I believe.
Yeah, it's lap 24 or 27 here.
Okay, so it might have a one-lap shootout.
You really hate to see it. These guys are getting very, very, very racy to be in the middle of the race. I think Mike RPM and the 43 Richard Petty Motorsports eSport. He's actually an eSports driver too, but he got the worst end of that as he was battling for the lead. Actually had the lead and just washed
he went
up,
around the
took out in that
17-car pole sitter. That's his second wreck of the day. And up front, what this has done has really dramatically, again, shuffled the running order and allowed guys that we haven't talked about all day long to get up front when it could count the most. Up front, 1 lap to go in the stage, and it is the 9 in front of Sloppy Joe. JRM Keffer trying to make something happen here. 3C Workman, wasn't so long ago that he was around missing pit road. He's up to 4th. Here comes Sloppy Joe challenging underneath. A couple of bow ties all subtly in the lead. The 9 car to the outside gets a bump from the 31. Now Sloppy Joe gets a push from the 88.
Contact in the back.
Oh, man.
3 car goes spinning. 24 Jobs.
20 up the racetrack. We still stay green. Sloppy Joe in front of the 88 of JRM Keffer. Look at this fight to get inside the top 10. Sloppy Joe will win the stage. And it is a dogfight for second on back. And excuse me, was that not the end of the stage, or was this?
We're still green.
No, it just went live. Now it's lap 81, 61 of 100. So
I'm sorry, guys. So this is actually, got a crash.
We got another crash in the back.
12, a Big D Destroyer.
No yellow, we stay green.
Wow, the 43 car muscled his way all the way through the field. Look at him go to the outside. He just shoved the 18 out of line, and now we've seen the 18 fall way to the high side. The 43 car up the racetrack, and the 21 of Slade is underneath the 43. The 9 car misses the entrance, his mark into turn 1. He'll fall outside of the top 10, and excuse us, guys. That was all. Oh, DWH pounds the wall and almost takes out a couple of competitors behind him.
31 and the 88 are stretching the legs in front of the field. 95 and the 17. Two of the fastest cars in the field tonight. See if they can pull that second back toe here.
Oh, the 19 of Voltage got into the side of DWH. You see the 20 car had to take evasive action to the outside as well. While we're still watching this pack single file themselves out, I want to acknowledge some inconsistencies that we did have. I do apologize. I thought that was the end of the stage number 2. It looks like it was not. So this is actually beginning of stage 3. That last stage did end under yellow. And unfortunately, with that big wreck, I don't know who won that stage. So that's something that we'll have to go back to the running order. And something that I do want to say, just as a broadcaster, it's very hard to try and communicate what lap these guys are on, what position they're running at the time, and who's fighting for what position and what. So, forgive us if we did misspeak in saying that we thought we were on the last lap. Fortunately, we're just working with what we're given right here. We don't know. We don't have a lap counter. We don't have the ability to see what position these guys are in under yellow. So that's something that we will definitely try and keep track of here. But I don't know who won stage 2, to be honest.
I'm trying to look at it right now.
The 17 of Fluffy just went way up the racetrack.
JRM Keffer finished first, Sloppy Joe second, C. Workman third on the order of the stage.
Oh, spinning! It's a 13 and the 1. Gathers it back up. Some good driving out of the 13. But these guys, the 1 car, every time we put him on screen, it seems like he has found the outside wall. It has not been DWH's day at all.
Jaron Keffer was just all the way up to the wall in 1 and 2. He's going to lose a ton of spots off of that. He's going to shuffle back to the back of that first pack. As right now we have the 31 of Sloppy Joe looking to the inside of Slade, maybe to the inside of the Bear. Help from Jobs. Not enough.
Wow, the 95 car, after causing that mayhem on the front stretch, has been able to rebound nicely. And now we see Bear, who I believe has the strongest car of the day so far, work his way back up to the front. A couple of guys trying to rebound as well. Jobs in that 24 and the 21 of Slade has been able to work his way up to second.
Yeah, we've got 31 car. Looks like he's a little loose coming off the corner there. He almost gathers up Jay Hyper as they get him straightened back out coming down turn 3.
Keffer, who lost those spots going all the way up to the wall in 1 and 2 a couple laps ago, is already back into the second spot with help of Jobs. So he rebounded quite nicely there, very quickly, fluffing to the wall just a little bit. If Keffer wants the lead now to the inside of the 95, he goes with help from Slade.
Oh, he's going to work his way up the racetrack. 21 to Slade trying to take advantage. 3 wide through the bottom of the racetrack. Wow, look at the 31. He just cut to the left. Car in the round in the back of the pack. That was the 6th car. You saw just outside the screen. And a couple more cars involved. Yellow flag is out.
Yeah, Marcus E-Dub, he had a rough speed weeks last week. He picked it up, ran a couple laps up front. You really hate to see it. I can't wait till he gets his season underway. He definitely has a fast car. Was really fast all week in practice as of with all the Fords. Really hate to see him get loose like that.
So that happened just as the 21 car took the lead. Looked like the 88 car made a move to get underneath the 95 and washed up the racetrack, and the 21 was able to take advantage of that. Guys, we're getting close to the end of this race. We know we have one more green flag pit stop at least in the books, but this will essentially reset their fuel window. 14 laps from now at the stripe. How many laps to go there, Will?
Right now it's showing me on our lap counter. It's showing a message. I can't see it. So we're on lap 70 of 100 on the restart there.
So 30 to go. If these guys are able to stretch it, that's right outside of their window. They would have to stretch it 1 lap on each side of their fuel window if they were to do that. Again, a fuel window is 14 laps. So these guys are just 2 laps shy of making it on one more pit stop.
17 got shuffled out there by Jared Keffer. As we see the Bear, he's going to keep the lead that lap. As they're starting to single file out, but not for long. As here comes Jeremy Keffer trying to get to the inside of Jobs.
You really hate to see a late race caution like that. It took the strategy right out of the race here tonight. As you see some of the Chevys, you know, they got a lot better long run car than some of the Fords and some of the Toyotas do.
Well, not necessarily there, Will, because like I said, we do have one more green flag pit stop. It's just going to be essentially where you put that pit stop. We've seen what fresher tires can do just by pitting 1 lap before everybody else. But does somebody play the long game? It's the risk versus reward. Do you stay out an extra lap on each side of that fuel window, make it 15 and then 15, or does somebody short pit, get advantage of those tires, and then decide to short pit again to take advantage and have the fastest car each round? Will that beat somebody who decides to stay out with a 1 pit stop strategy versus 2?
Yeah, I think we're going to see them all just do a one pit strategy deal here. None of them want to go a lap down and try to struggle to get that back late in the race. I think they can all make it off of 1 stop. Average run here, you're checking up a little bit, and especially in the draft, every one of them can definitely get at least 15 laps on the green. So I think we're going to see them probably try to do it dead in the middle. That way they got green tires until then, and then after.
Now, getting onto pit road, that really wasn't a factor in the Xfinity race. Why are we seeing so many guys have trouble now?
I just think that like when you go to a Talladega or Daytona, you're
got a crash. BC Racer Kid out of shape, collecting Marcus Ethup, and he's sideways into the wall. Yellow flag? Nope.
No
we
yellow.
stay under green. BC Racer Kid, Laugh Lobby defending race winner of this race 1 year ago, has some work to do to get caught back up.
Because right now we got 3 wide, now it's settled down to 2 in the front of the pack. The 18 looking to get to the inside of Jay Hyper. He does, he gets around him. These guys are racing really hard for these space positions right now, and I think part of that could be these guys know that they can try to save, but I think they're trying to get as high as they can before they start saving, which at a point they all have to try to save. I mean, they may not have to. They may try to stick it out for 2 laps and save 2 laps in the last run, but I think if you want to save fuel, you want to do it in the first run here. That way you don't have to lose as much time in the final run that really counts the most.
Yeah, I think the pit strategy last night, as you was touching on, Alex, I think these guys are just, like I said, coming into Daytona, Talladega, how there's so much draft speed. You're actually 10 to
Oh,
15,
Voltage
20
gets into the
miles an
side
hour.
of 3 Workmen. Sorry there.
Yeah,
Wow, that looked like it was going to be big.
It looked like it was. It did. But, yeah, these guys are hitting pit road 10 or 15 miles an hour, and they're just misjudging the distance. So that's why you see a couple cars overshooting, getting in a little hot.
Is it harder to get on the pit road with the controller versus the wheel? We know these guys are split. Some people are on. Oh, the 9 car out of shape and through the grass, I believe. Yeah, he is.
He's mowing the yard.
But that's a single car incident. But is it harder to get on the pit road with a wheel versus a controller?
I'm actually a wheel guy. Ty, do you race on a wheel or a controller?
I'm a controller guy, so
It's got to be harder than a wheel, I think, anyway.
my main problem that I find struggling is trying to shift down gears, because we talk about losing speed. If you stay in a higher gear, it slows you down a little quicker, but then if you slow down too much and you try to get back on the gas, that does play a factor in it. So I've never done the wheel, so I can't say if it's harder for me or harder for you. So, I mean, I feel like respectively, it might be a little difficult for controller users anyway.
Somebody that we have not talked much, at least good things today, just because of the bad luck that surrounded him. Look at who is up in 3rd place. DWH in that one machine. Looks like he has hit on something to go right, and now challenging. He's ahead of the second pack. He's looking to try and latch on to those front 2 who have driven away. And we see Mike RPM take the lead away from Bear into turn 4.
Yeah, DW actually, he's got some speed tonight. He qualified 5th. He's got the 88 and the, looks like to me, the 19 in tow. So that's good guys to be in the draft with and try to walk down these front 2s trying to pull away from the field.
Well, Mike, one of those esports guys, having a great night tonight, as well as the 95. And they have left the field in the dust. That's the biggest lead we've seen here today. Coming to just less than 25 to go. And again, another green flag pit stop will need to be made. This does certainly have the look of a green flag run to the end of this race right now.
Yeah, I'm not so sure of that, though. Those guys in the back, they're trying to mix it up. We'll see the field re-bunch back up after they start taking their pit stops. It's really going to be who gets on the pit road clean and who can get off clean. That's going to be the story, the race story, I believe.
Something I'm curious about.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead there,
I was just
Ty.
going to say we've already seen a few incidents on pit road already.
With these front 2, like, the gap has closed down a little bit quicker than I figured they would, and I'm not trying to take anything away from the second pack, but are these front 2 saving a little bit? They have that gap, so they could take advantage of that. If they did, that would be very smart of them to do, to try to save a little bit and go one lap longer to get it done in just 2 stops. So that's what I was trying to look at. It's hard to tell, really, with the timing and scoring, if they were pulling in straight off of the draft or if they were saving. Really hard to tell at the moment, but we will obviously figure out when we get to these pit stops.
He's got 31 getting loose coming off the turn.
Yeah.
He gets his back straightened up for workman.
Couple of DNFs I want to mention there. We do know the 10 car was out. That was AJ, unfortunately, not having the type of night he wanted, as well as the 48 car. He had some issues earlier to begin this race, got bumped down the line right immediately at the start, hit the outside wall, and was just never upwards a factor toward the end of that. That 48 car has pulled behind the wall as well. Now, you did bring up some good information there, Ty. I do like that strategy. These guys are up front. They have the chance to perhaps save some fuel, also save some tires. Now, we do understand, we saw with the 20 car earlier today, DWH just strike the wall out of turn 2 right there. He'll lose a little bit of momentum to JRM Gifford in the 17. But we saw what tires could do with 1 lap. Now, saving tires, or saving what these guys are doing, do you decide to pit early and take advantage of that 1 lap and hope your car works well in the long run? Because the 20 car, we saw before he spun, he really didn't leave touch with that lead pack.
No, he sure didn't, and he got there by doing a short pit strategy. Because remember, he was outside of the top 10 as he pitted. So.
Oh, around Sloppy Joe in the back of the pack. Does this bring out the caution? BC Racer Kid and a couple others having to take evasive action. BC Racer Kid strikes the inside wall.
We're still green here.
We are still green. Oh, no. Heartbreak again.
We're definitely approaching the pit window. Maybe those guys that got into an incident or maybe had to check up, maybe you're going to see them dive down pit road to see if they can, salvage a little bit of a slower lap feed that was happening right now.
Marcus E-Dub in that 6 car is going to be the first of our lead lap cars. He's not part of the lead pack. Oh, Slade is around to the backstretch. Yellow flag. There it is.
You called it, Alex.
So they were unable to make it to the green flag pit stop. And let me tell you, who that plays right into their strategy is the 6 car. He took to pit road before the leaders were able to even get to him. They haven't even reached him yet. He's able to complete his service. He will not go a lap down. Marcus E-Dub just got handed a Hail Mary. He will be leading this race once we go back to green.
That throws a wrench in everybody's plans as far as stretching it, because now, once these guys get their fuel here, they all know that they have to make one stop. Now it's just going to be when they make that stop.
No, actually,
well, it looks like maybe Marcus did not.
These guys are green for the rest of the way.
We did see the 6 car on pit road. I don't know why he was not able to avoid the lead unless he was a lap down already. That could be a strategy. Again, what I would do for a leaderboard.
Yes, I would love a leaderboard, because Keffer, he's a popular guy. He gets tons and tons of messages. It's hard to see. I see a black box every now and then. As we're coming up on 14 laps to go. We're on lap 87 of 100 right now.
That would make it a 15-lap run. That theoretically means these guys should be able to make it to the end. Yeah, Bear trying to make his way out of this pack. And a good thing, because look at that. That's rush hour at over 200 miles an hour. I call that the 405 on steroids.
As we see in the 19 car, Voltage had an earlier little incident that kept him in the back there. But as he's up here with the lead pack looking to make a move and see if he can sweep the weekend here. As you know, he won the Xfinity race last night, had one of the top cars out there. It seemed like it carried over to his cup ride. Fluffy's back up right outside the top 5 as he showed speed all race.
Well, the man that's led the most laps here today has definitely been the 95, and the 43 car, almost like a trailer hitch, has been on the back bumper. We've not seen the 43 car leave the bumper of the 95 machine. Mike having a good job here so far today, but look, stage 2 winner, the 88 of JRM Keffer, we were just talking about him, trying to make his way to the front.
Yeah, the 95 car, he led probably 80% of the race last week.
Wow!
Oh, man.
The 88 car kind of gave him a shove. Yeah. The 43, and he'll work to the high side.
Keffer moves up into the top 2 here. You see Voltage got a run on the outside. Mike RPM in tow. See if they can get it down here in the corner and push the momentum through. You see Workman get along with the 88. Oh, he goes on the inside. He's not looking to help. These guys are being cutthroat here in the closing laps as we're approaching 10 to go.
Oh, 20 car got loose off the corner. And if you're looking for the first blue oval, none currently reside inside the top 5. First car with that blue oval trademark will be the 17 of Fluffy. He's fighting the 21 car Slade. That's a battle for 7th. Slade will now actually take it away from him.
We got the 19 cutting on the inside of the Bear there. Voltage getting him to run down the front stretch here as he's about to dive it off into 1. See who Keffer goes with.
JRN sticks to the outside.
Oh.
43 car had a look underneath. You have to wonder if he remembered that bump a lap ago. Voltage to the inside. Xfinity Series winner trying to make it 2 in a row. And the 19 car now side by side, door to door down the backstretch.
Yeah, you see that 20 car poking his head back into the top 5. See if these Toyotas can pull it off here. They've got the top 3 positions right now, followed by 2 Chevys rounding out the top 5.
Something we haven't talked about, the 11 car, after he spun, I think it was in stage 1 or 2, he's worked his way back into the top 10. He's trying to get a run up there with his Toyota teammates.
Yeah, I think Jobs is back behind him. Let's see if they can work together to get up here to PC Racer Kid. Oh, we got the 95 getting loose coming down the back stretch.
He did, and Marcus E-Dub again finding the inside apron of turn 2. We stay under the green flag. Oh, see, Workman worked his way up the racetrack. He'll tag the 88 car, who has to gather back up out of the gas. It's the 3, and he'll lose a ton of positions because of it. Now, BC Racer Kid through the grass.
Back up the track. No yellow as of yet.
Oh, they're crashing. Jay Hyper's in it, and there's a big crash. Big D Destroyer. We ride along with him.
Caution, guys, caution. As we gather them up, rack the field, we've got 8 laps to go.
Oh,
you think we're going to have any takers here?
Oh, boy.
I mean, right now, seeing it the way that these guys were racing, they might not have done too much with their tires, but right now I think for this final run, the guys we may have some takers come in and get 4 tires, and at the end of the run, that's when those tires are going to mean the most. So if you're already in the back of the pack, might as well rack them up, take 4 tires. But if you're in the front of this pack, you definitely have a pretty big choice to make right here.
Well, I think new tires, with my practice, we saw over a second fall off. So new tires over what will be 6 laps, perhaps maybe 5 going. It's still long. That's 10 miles on this racetrack. That's a lot to ask for these guys to hold off on older tires versus somebody that's on new.
The whole field take new tires, except for the 20 and the 19. I think they stayed out.
So we'll see if they're eaten alive. Joe Gibbs Racing on the front row. JRM Keffer, DWH right behind him. We know they went down pit road. The 3 of C Workman also inside the top 5. How many laps to go in this race here, Will?
We actually coming to the green with 5 to go. And everybody did pit. So you might have seen those guys up front take 2 tires as the rest. I think Keffer took 4 and on back from there.
A little bit of mix-up in the back. Contact between Sloppy Joe and Jay. 43 puts Jay into Sloppy. Sloppy's going to lose a ton of momentum here. He is going to fall just right behind the 6's draft, as these guys are all spread out, coming to the start-finish line, trying to get all these spots they can.
It is a dead heat, 2 by 2 by 2. That's how the front 6 run. It's the 20 car trying to get up to speed, now pushed by his Joe Gibbs Racing teammate and his corporate affiliated teammate. That's Bear in the 95, making that outside line work again. JRM Keffer not giving up. He has a couple of bow ties underneath, including the 3-car C Workman. Those guys work together in tandem to the Daytona 500. Could the 3 push the 88 to the lead here at Auto Club?
Well, we're definitely going to see manufacturers. We've got 4 bow ties lined up, front and back on that inside line there.
Wow, the 95 car went in a hole that was not there. Looking to thread the needle. They are side by side touching. The 95 car gets into the middle of it. Oh, the 88 back across the track. JRM Keffer. And a big crash in turn 2.
We're going to see a caution. Yeah, and that's with 3 to go.
This will make it a green-white checkered. The 19 got involved, the 18, the 4 BC Racer Kid, and JRM Keffer. They were fighting for the lead. They end up in a pile, smoking in turn 2.
And right there when the yellow came out, the 3 was barely in front of the 24, followed by the 20. So right now your top 3, the 3, the 24, and then the 20 car of Voltage. Wait, no, that is New World Order. My apologies.
You really hate to see late in the race when we're coming down, shaking up to be a good race. You see it, another on-track incident happening to the 88. He didn't force the issue, but caught the worst end of it.
Well, these guys also have to make a decision. If you're in the back of the pack, why not get yourself 4 tires? But we will have a green-white checkered following the 20. It is the 13, the 3 of C Workman and Jobs in that 24 machine as everyone fights to the inside. 2 laps to settle the California Dreamin' 400 at Auto Club. C Workman looking to get his first win of the PRCS League Racing, pushed by the 20 and the 24. Bow ties trying to work their way up through the field. Here comes the 20 to the outside. New World in that 20 machine. Does he have any drafting help? No. Bear goes to the inside. Workman trying to block all 3 lanes. They'll face the white flag this time by 4 wide as they get across the stripe.
Here comes
Bear and
Fluffy.
Mike RPM get into each other again.
Bear trying to make something happen. Does the caution flag come out? Bear to the inside. Still 3 wide racing. Bear takes the lead. Here comes Fluffy looking underneath this. Dramatic racing. 5 wide out of turn 2. Trying to get to the front. Here comes Fluffy. Battling back. The pole setter in the 95 car. Help from the 43. Fluffy through turns 3 and 4 in the pole setter. He led the first lap. He'll lead the last one. Fluffy is California dreaming for the 400 out Auto Club.
Fluffy won a big one. Oh, there's a big one coming across the stripe as Joe's.
Bear coming up just short, and it was a dogfight for third. I don't know who got it. It might have been the 43.
Man, oh man, was that a finish.
We took the white flag. Fluffy was in the middle of that pack, but he had a huge run going into 1 and 2, and that's what gave him that win right there. Just staying prone until he needed to pounce, and he pounced at the right time for sure. Huge win for him.
And what a day getting to victory lane. He was involved in our first big crash of the day that sent him sideways in front of the whole entire field. It seemed like every car hit him. Able to work his way through. Dramatic strategy in the 17 car, that fashionable Ford. The first win for Roush Fenway Racing since 2017.
All right, let me get him in here. I was trying to look at the top 3, but I could only see. I only know Fluffy won.
It looks like
Bear
it will
was
be Slade. Maybe might have finished third.
Okay, Slade. So let's get Fluffy. He's not showing online, so.
What a run to the finish, man. They were 5 wide out of turn 2.
The second place was a dogfight. You really hate to see it for the 88 car. Once again, had a strong car, good long run car, and gets washed up at the end. Someone else's aggressiveness and ruins his races. He got a 13th place finish out of all that. Really hate to see it week after week happen to the same guys. I sent Fluffy an invite. There he is. There he is, Alex. There's your winner, Fluffy.
All right, well, welcome to Victory Lane for the first time in 2019. We are now joined by esports driver and veteran Fluffy. Fluffy, walk us through those final 2 laps there. How did you get that fashionable Ford to the front in that pack?
Dude, I had no clue, man. That was intense. Man, literally, there were so many guys literally in contention of that in the top 5. Everybody was just scrambling, and I saw Bear make a pass on the inside there with a 3, and I went with him. I think I kind of bumped a little bit going to the corner. I apologize about that, but made the pass on Bear coming into the final stretch there, and picked up the win for the first time this season. And man, it's God, I feel definitely relieved, and yeah, that was crazy.
Goodness gracious, we saw a little bit of everything there. It didn't come without incident there. The first big crash we saw on the front stretch, you got sideways in front of half the field. What happened there to send you away?
Man.
If you remember that. I mean, so much has happened in this race. Do you remember having half the field hit you there?
Literally, I can't remember, honestly.
Well, it'll make the highlight reel.
I was all over the place, man. So, but yeah, it was, oh my God, that race was wild.
Wow, yes, it was. Well, you are solidly in the playoffs here for PRCS, and another win for you at Auto Club. Walk us through what this means to you for the rest of the season looking into this stretch at PRCS.
Well, with this win, it gives us momentum for obviously next week. Just going to next week strong and be consistent next week, and this definitely gives us that edge for next week. So looking forward to Martinsville next week. Always strong there, so hopefully we can bring this win and this momentum towards next week, guys.
Congratulations on your big win tonight, Fluffy.
Thank you.
All right, guys, going to give up second place there. Definitely not a second place effort. Bear, you look like you had the car to beat. At times, you were almost a second in front of the pack. Unable to capitalize, though, in that last restart there. Walk us through your day and getting to second place.
Up and down day. I'm sure I gave somebody a lot to laugh at when I was going into pit road by myself and wiped the field out.
Yeah, that was going to be my second question. What happened there, and are you on a wheel?
I am on a wheel, and the left, as everyone knows, on older tires, when you're going to pit road, you're trying to get all you can get to pit road, and I had a good advantage, so I wanted to maintain it. So I tried to get in there really hot, and when I did, the left front locked up, and when it locked up, it turned me to the inside wall, so I tried to overcorrect it. When I did, it shot me back out of the racetrack. Total blunder on my part. That never happens to me. Hopefully it won't happen to me tomorrow either, but we'll cross our fingers on that. Overall, solid day. I can't complain. I mean, was in position there at the end. Got held down a little tighter than I wanted to be held down by the three there coming off turn two. And coming two into one, put me in an awkward position there going through two, and that's what allowed the 17 to get underneath me. I didn't have the right angle, and it cost me the win, but nevertheless, strong run, strong car, and we'll just come back and go get them next week.
Well, the 95 looks like it brings speed to the track week in and week out, man. Looking forward to see how that works out on that short track of Martinsville next week.
Looking forward to it, fellas. Appreciate y'all's hard work.
Congratulations on your second place finish tonight.
See y'all.
You got anything for him, Ty?
Not really, man. Great run tonight, Bear. That was pretty solid.
All right, guys.
All right.
All right, man.
Last of our podium finishes here. I seem to always talk to this guy. That's because he's always finishing up near the front. It seems to be the 21 of Slade. Slade. Okay, so you were finished first. So, Mike, that's probably good because I'm going to be straight up honest. I wasn't going to interview him. So, congratulations to his third place finish. But you, fourth, still a good run and a top 5 on that run. How do you describe your day?
Oh, my. Dude, I'll get my the wreck I dodged on my Twitter, at Slade_G84. Little shout there. So I'm trying to remember. I think we were sitting third. And we got wrecked, and that sent us back to the 14th, 15th area. And we worked our way back up to, I want to say, 6th. Got wrecked back to 15th. Took 4 tires. And then that big wreck that happened with, I don't know how many laps to go. I want to say like 4 to go, 5 to go, which got us to the green, white, checkered. Me and Fluffy were, I want to say, 14th and 16th, and we ended up 4th and 7th after that wreck. So that was awesome. But, I mean, the car was great. We were able to run great in the draft. We led a couple laps today. Just having a great day. We've had top 5 finish every race this season. We got last week second Atlanta and then a 4th at Daytona and Auto Club. So, can't complain here in the Wood Brothers camp. And it was very nice to get that Spin Mustang another top 5.
There was one time we did see you. I think the caution, your spin on the backstretch set up that last stint to the end of the race there. What happened there on the backstretch that sent you sideways?
I'm trying to remember. Was it front? I remember there was another front stretch. There was an issue where there was one of the backstretch where the 11, I think it was, got loose. No, it wasn't. I forgot. I mean, I know I got wrecked once in the front stretch, and I thought that got us to the yellow, and then I got wrecked on the backstretch.
It's an exciting race if you can't remember which wreck was. And we're still interviewing you. So
I think we got about 3 today. One of them being the Bears' little fiasco coming out pit road. But I mean, he apologized immediately. So we could tell it wasn't on purpose with how he wrecked.
I hope
just
not. I don't
lose.
know why you would ever decide, I'm just going to wipe up the field when you're leading.
Yeah, I think I'm going to speed in pit road here. Let me just turn right.
Let me
But no,
just-
it was, the race was very exciting, though. I will say that was probably one of the most exciting races I've been a part of. That's the best takeaway to come after this.
It was definitely an exciting race here in the booth. Able to call that with you. So thank you so much there, Slade. Real quick about some final thoughts with Will and Ty. Ty, that was your first time up in the booth there. What did you see, and what are you expecting later on in the season?
I mean, for my first race watching the Cup Series and first race being up here in the booth, I mean, that was really exciting. I had so much fun commentating and calling the race. I want to thank you and Will and everybody for letting me come up in here and run my big mouth about the race.
Well, maybe we can have you on Thursday nights as well. We need a commentator there for our default series.
I sure love to.
Yeah, we got at least 12, 13 of the Pro League guys. They got a big race tomorrow night at Homestead. There's actually a top 5 points battle going on. Anybody can win the championship there. So looking forward to that. Everybody tune into that. That'll be on Facebook, Twitch, or any gaming channels that you can actually watch live streams, as a lot of the guys have their own live streams. But tune in tomorrow night. I believe 7 o'clock, might be 8 o'clock Eastern. As you can see, these guys battle for the championship there at Homestead. Well, it's not the championship yet, but it's getting close. Two races left.
Well, these guys all are going to be going to bed here, but only one will be California Dreaming, and that will be the 17 of Fluffy. Great job getting to victory lane after an up and down day for the pole sitter there. He had a fast car all day. He wasn't able to keep it up there, but he did keep it up there when it counted the most. So again, I want to thank everybody here from Will and Ty and myself and the MBN network bringing you today's race coverage of the Auto Club 400, the California Dreaming 400 at Auto Club. Again, our next race, we're going to go to the short track located in Martinsville. It's NASCAR's oldest track, the only one that's still on the schedule that was originally put on the schedule back in 1949. Can't wait to see what these guys do. Bumping and banging there, 20 cars on that short track should be exciting. But again, for myself, the Midnight Broadcasting Network and PRCS, I want to thank you guys, the viewers at home. Again, catch us right here every Tuesday beginning at 7:30 Mountain Time. That's 9:30 Eastern Standard Time for all the action for PRCS. And again, myself and everyone else, we hope you have a great night.
We're out of here.